Hi guys, welcome back to Nikoashi, Japan. It's been a long time between videos, so I do apologise. We've been really busy back in Australia making big plans for our next stay in Japan, which is coming up very soon. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the video. But for now, I just want to recap on what we've been up to over the past 2 years since we bought our house. I'm Deb, that's Jason, and if you're new to the channel, we bought an old house in Japan in the countryside in 2023, which is known as a kominka. We bought the kominka as an empty house. Empty houses are called akiya in Japan. There's an abundance of akiya throughout the country, but we found ours in Shimane Prefecture. Shimane is most famous for Izumo Taisha, one of the oldest and most important Shinto shrines in Japan, Matsue Castle, and Iwami Ginzan silver mine. It's also known for its deep history, its rich cultural heritage, and unspoilt nature. We think it's just the best place in Japan. We are a little bit biased. We'd been searching online for a couple of years before we came across this place on the local Akiya Bank website. It was once a sake brewery, full of history, but in need of some love. During our trip to Japan to inspect the properties for sale, we made the journey to Masuda, wandered around the empty rooms of the house and the rambling gardens, and we knew it was the one for us. So we entered into a purchase contract, and we actually finalised the sale while we were in Australia. And let me tell you, we didn't really know what we were in for. We thought we were quite prepared for our akiya adventure, but those first few weeks in the house were really quite daunting and a little bit overwhelming. And what we didn't really anticipate was how much the nature and the wildlife would impact our daily lives. So I'm going to show you what that was like for us, and then I'm going to talk about the progress that we've made on our renovations over the past couple of years. Sometimes I feel like we haven't quite achieved enough, and sometimes I feel quite proud. So yes, there have been monkeys, and giant killer hornets.
Shit, it's one of those big fucking hornets. Let me in! Did you find him?
Yeah, he's gone. Gone to Mickey's maker.
It was huge, wasn't it?
Massive.
I know. I saw it hovering.
Anyway, he's met his maker.
So hopefully this will catch them before they chase me again. And I got a few more of these. Oh, guess we'll wait and see if we catch any. I hope not.
To be honest, that hornet really scared me. And these centipedes aren't much fun either. The biggest problem we encountered during our first stay at the house was the spiders. This was the scene we were greeted with the very first day that we took ownership of the house. So let's say we were quite overwhelmed on that first visit after picking up our keys. We soon realised that living in the inaka, or Japanese countryside, would come with challenges that we hadn't even considered.
And we're good.
Despite that initial shock of the wildlife in the area, we started to settle in and set up house, buying equipment for the kitchen. We bought a new stove, got a hot water system installed, and did a bit of a freshen up of the kitchen itself to brighten up the space. And then it really started to feel like home. We also had a new toilet installed, which in my opinion was probably the best thing we've done so far. Another big project was the driveway and the car park. And you may have seen in our latest series of videos, Jason has fixed this corner of the Engawa veranda that was rotting from termites and water damage. One of my favourite projects was constructing this Irori fireplace, which has been really fun to sit around during winter and cook. I've also spent quite a lot of time exploring and discovering treasures in the house. The house was a sake brewery in its former life, and we hope one day to bring some of that history back to the house. We're not quite sure what that's going to be yet, but we have some ideas. Some of the other little odd jobs around the house we've done include fixing up the front doors and just some general maintenance items. So, what do you think, guys? How have we done over the first 2 years of owning this house? I've mentioned this before in other videos, but integrating into the community in a Japanese village takes time. We've tried our best to start off on the right foot by bringing small gifts for our neighbours and the community centre and local kindergarten. We've given back as much as we can whilst living here only part-time by joining the neighbourhood association, helping with the annual river cleaning, and reading English books to the local kindy kids from time to time.
Okay, let's try Tim Tam.
And we've made some amazing friends along the way too. As you can see, buying a house in Japan, for us anyway, is not just about the house, but it's about friendships, making connections, exploring, and just having fun with the time that we have. Thank you! Yeah! I just want to talk about some of the challenges that we've faced over the past couple of years. I think the language barrier still throws us sometimes, even though I've studied Japanese for many years. But every visit we make, our communication skills improve. We're also actively studying at the Masuda Japanese Language School with some of our newfound friends, so that's always fun.
あれですか？覚えないといけないんですか？覚えられない。
Also, owning a house in Japan but only having a tourist visa means that we can be here a maximum of 180 days per year in a maximum of 90-day visits at a time. It also limits us in other ways, making it harder to get a mobile phone and impossible to get a bank account here. We also need to pay for travel insurance each visit, as naturally we don't have national health cover. The phone issue can be addressed by signing up for a monthly Japanese SIM card plan. However, I believe there are limitations on the type of phone number you can get, and we would still be paying for the phone when we weren't here. So we just pay for an eSIM during our visits and use the Line application for communication, which seems to be the popular choice in Japan. Not having a Japanese phone number does make it difficult though when trying to sign up for online services or completing digital contact forms in Japanese, for example, when reaching out to real estate agents or akiya banks. We've found that some of the utilities can be connected and paid for via an international credit card. We look after our gas and internet bills ourselves. To have the water, electricity and land taxes taken care of, we use a local property services company, Nippon Tradings International, who also assisted us in the purchase of our house. We also have a trusted friend and local businessman in Masuda, who we engage to manage payments for ad hoc services such as gardening and organising quotes for trades.
Alright, these mega beers means we're staying in town.
We also thought that buying a car in Japan without residency was not possible. However, we've recently found a way to get this done. So we are excited to say that we'll be buying a car of our own very soon. If you'd like to know more about this, please leave a comment below. So let's talk about some of the big plans that we have coming up. The first and most important on the list is fixing up our shrine. It has been leaning since we bought the house, and I feel like it's leaning further every year. So this is a priority job.
So my dream would be to keep the shrine. You can see it's been leaning for a long time, and the previous owners have tried to prop it up. Oh, Kami-sama, we're going to look after you. You have to get a Buddhist priest here, and they have a ceremony, remove the god and keep him safe while we perform the renovation or build his new house. And it could end up being just a smaller version of what's there already, but you can see inside there is some nice reusable features, and I really would love to reuse as much as possible.
Another really important job on our list is the preservation of these 100-year-old hand-blown glass doors. And we've been doing some investigation into the subfloor in the main 4 rooms of the house. There is some termite damage, which we always knew was there, and we've always planned a major restoration of the 4 main rooms of the house. So that is something else that we're getting quotes on and will be in upcoming videos. We have big plans for our future here, and we're in the process of looking at applying for a business manager visa. Is this just a dream? Who knows? But we're hoping to explore the idea and see where it takes us. We've had 5 trips to the house so far, and each trip has been a maximum of 1 month. So when I think about the progress that we've made over 2 years, I know that we've done as much as we possibly can with the time and the resources we've had. Sometimes it still doesn't feel like enough, but I think it's human nature to be a little bit too hard on yourself. But as long as we're still having fun, we will keep going.
That's for sure.
Hey, nice Crocs.
Don't put this on YouTube.
Oh, it's going straight to YouTube.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.